Now, for our introduction, we want to talk about 4 different areas when we talk about structuring for AI and BI: quality and availability, insight extraction, efficiency in AI, and data manipulation. For quality and availability, right, our AI initiatives rely heavily on the quality and availability of our data. Okay, properly structured data ensures that our AI models have a solid foundation to work from. And what do we mean by properly structured models? Well, that's going to include organizing, cleaning, and standardizing our data in formats that can be used for our analysis. Insight extraction is going to include the structured data, which allows for the extraction of valuable insights and strategic decision making, which is essential for BI. Efficiency in AI, what we mean there is in that instance, we're talking about the BI and analytics team, because a well-structured team can empower AI by providing accurate data for training and testing our machine learning models, which leads to a greater efficiency and accuracy. Now, the ideal team will include the following skills, and those skills can be spread across, 1, 2, or multiple different people. It's just important that we have all these different skills represented on the team. First would be a data analyst. Okay, they interpret data sets using statistical analysis. They report their findings in visualizations, etc. Okay, then we have a business analyst. This is different from a data analyst. The business analyst bridges that gap between the IT and business. Okay, think requirements gathering here. They can speak both business language and the IT language. Then we have data scientists, very strong in statistical analysis. These are the people that create and use our machine learning models. They can even at times write the algorithms for the machine learning models if none exist. Then we have a data engineer. This is the person that will design, build, and maintain the data architecture. So like they're in charge of the databases, the lake houses, the data warehouses, okay, maintaining the infrastructure. Then we have a BI developer who creates the tools and software to enable effective data analysis, right? This includes our dashboarding and reporting tools and our ad hoc reporting. This contrasts with the data analyst, where the data analyst, using their statistical analysis tools, will probably report their findings and visualizations on a little bit longer term projects. The BI developer is the one that can handle the more ad hoc reporting capabilities. Then we need a data steward, someone to oversee and manage data assets to ensure our data and quality and consistency across our organization, right? Think data governance. And then last but not least, we need a good project manager, someone to lead the execution of the BI projects, coordinate with all the different roles, both internally and externally, whether on the team or within the business itself. All right. For data manipulation, we talk about that our AI and ML data structures, okay, need to be enabled for efficient data manipulation, which is necessary for pre-processing and preparing data for our modeling. What that means is we're talking about the ETL process here. ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. Okay, making sure data is in a format that can be utilized, whether we have no or minimal missing values, right? Or all of our data value, where all of our date values are handled the same way. Is it day, month, year, or month, day, year? Making sure that's standard across the board, across the organizational data. Making sure our currency, and decimals are handled the same way, right? Are we using the US dollar? Are we using the Canadian dollar? What are we, make sure we're standardized across there. Okay. And so the next question might be, hey, what's Microsoft's commitment to this data-driven transformation? Okay. Well, what their commitment is that Microsoft has a multi-year, multi-billion-dollar investment to accelerate AI breakthroughs with OpenAI. Okay, they've increased their investment in specialized supercomputing to support OpenAI. They have integrated GPT-4, Turbo, DALL-E 3, Whisper 3 into their MS consumer and enterprise product stacks, as well as Azure is the cloud provider for OpenAI. And then we have their Fabric, one of their newest products, Microsoft Fabric, which is a unified end-to-end analytics platform. It's a single integrated environment for data professionals to collaborate on data projects. This means you can have dashboarding, reporting, AI, and ML all coming out of the same place because they can all use the same model. You can have different models if you want, but they can all use the same semantic model with inside Fabric to create off it. So it's all contained within the same spot. Are you ready? So when we're talking about are you ready, we're going to talk about buy-in, sponsorship, and investment. Okay. What we mean by buy-in is that we need executive support because that's critical for the success of our projects. Predominant research shows that around 70% of projects fail globally, and that of those projects that end up succeeding, 60% of those had executive buy-in. Okay, now executive buy-in is not the only factor in whether a project succeeds or fails, but you can see in the fact that the ones that do succeed, over 60% had buy-in from executives, meaning that executive buy-in is definitely a very high contributor to the success of a project. Okay, it also provides a morale boost, okay, because it signifies that the project itself is worthwhile and that the contributions of people on that project will be valued by the executive level and recognized. Okay, it also helps, with us getting clear objectives and goals, right? Because our executives are the ones that deal with the long-term vision of the company, so they can result in making sure that AI and BI project is part of that continued long-term plan and vision. Okay. Another statistic is that roughly 12% of organizations currently have advanced AI to the point where they are witnessing business transformation. Now, about 50% of companies have actual plans to do that in the future, but only 12% have, only roughly 12% have actually realized that to this point. What does that mean? Well, that means that their executives have the understanding that AI and ML projects are not a one and done. You don't just do the project, it's done, and you move on. Okay, their data project lifecycle is going to be an iterative process. Okay, that's why we need, and it's so important to have that executive buy-in, is because they're the ones that control the budget and the vision and everything that we've already talked about. So executive buy-in is extremely important to have, and that sponsorship and investment, because that's going to be a huge factor in whether or not our initiative will succeed or not. Okay, so after that, how do we set ourselves up for success? Well, some of the things we need to do to make sure we're set up for success is we have to define our specific goals and make sure they align with our business strategy, right? We need that executive buy-in early, okay? And we need to assemble that team we talked about earlier with the necessary skills, right? Ensure access to high quality data and policies for governing that data. We can't just have the data, we have to have the policies that go along with governing that data. Right? We need to invest in the right technologies for our storage, processing, and analysis of the data. Meaning that, are we dealing with just on-prem data, cloud data, or are we in a hybrid situation? We definitely need to address the ethical and equitable and responsible use of AI, including the compliance of whatever processes for that ethical and equitable and responsible use of AI that we come up with. You need to determine any key performance indicators that are going to be used to measure that success. Right? We need to plan and process plan our processes for getting our users adoption and usage. Okay, you can have the best AI project in the world, but if it's not adopted and used by your users, it doesn't matter. Okay. What we also have to come up with is the process for continually evaluating the project and making changes, like I talked about a little bit earlier about the iterative data project lifecycle. We need to have that process so that we can continually evaluate and make changes to it as the data dictates. We make changes. Okay, so that's how we get set up for success. Well, what do we do to start? What project should I start with? How should I determine what project I want to start with? Well, some of the things that we should look at is that, one, we should identify problems or opportunities that could benefit from AI, ML, or BI solutions in the organization. All right, and then decide, hey, do we have, of the projects we're looking at, do we have access to the necessary data needed to be able to train and test the models and create that project? If we don't, take those projects off the list. Okay, can we get specific and measurable goals for the project to, to achieve, right? If we can't get those goals, take that project off the list. Is the project one that your company is set up to answer with the current infrastructure and personnel? If the project would requires significant investment in personnel or infrastructure, maybe we look at starting with a different project. Okay, take a look at the estimate of the potential ROI for all the projects and how it will add value to the business. All right. A good way to look at that is what projects could deliver a quick win. And the reason we say a quick win is because if we are able to get a quick win in that AI, ML, or BI space, that will add momentum and support for doing further AI, ML, and BI projects, right? And above all else, again, making sure you adhere to whatever ethical policies and procedures that your organization has drawn up. Now, talking about the overview of our data structure and considerations. Okay, first we want to talk about the difference between our structured and unstructured. Our structured data is highly organized and formatted such that it is easily searchable within our relational database, right? For this, think quantitative with rows and columns, right? We can easily input, search, and manipulate using something like SQL or structured query language. Right? Whereas contrast that with our unstructured data, which is a complete lack of predefined formatting or organization of the data. Now, this can be challenging to collect, process, and analyze. All right, think along the lines of this is more qualitative data, and it includes formats like text, images, videos, social media content. All right, think non-relational databases like NoSQL or data lakes. Now, we'll say data lakes will house structured data, which makes them great because they can house both structured and unstructured data, which is what something like the Microsoft Fabric is. Okay, it's unified and it is both, it has a data lake, which can house both structured and unstructured data. Okay. Now, when we want to talk about how we integrate our BI and data, okay, the most common way that we want to structure, bring both our structured and unstructured data together is through what we call a star schema. And that's because our star schema is the preferred schema for most of our analytics programs like Power BI. Okay, it's not the only schema we have to use, but it's the preferred one because it makes it easier. It makes it easier for our data connection and to be able to get at our insights out of that data. So, what's great about the star schema? Well, typically we think of it in two separate types of tables. We have our fact tables and we have our dimension tables. Okay, our fact tables are the center of the star, and our dimension tables are the points on the star that connect to the center. Fact tables are measurables like sales or quantity, right? It's generally quantifiable data about your business that you want to know about, right? How's our revenue? How's our ROI? How's our sales? Okay. Dimensions are descriptive information about the fact data, okay? Stuff like time dimension, geography dimension, product dimension, okay? And generally speaking, we they don't have to, but we want our dimensions to have to contain a hierarchy for filtering and slicing our data. For instance, our time hierarchy, our date time hierarchy would have a year, quarter, month, day. Okay, our geography one would maybe start at continent to country to state to county to city. And because of how that is structured, we can roll up or we can drill down on those. We can look at our revenue or our sales by city. And if we want to see what that rolls up to state, we can drill up to state or drill up to continent and see what our overall sales are. Same thing with our time. If we want to look at our sales by year, and then we want to say, hey, what is it by month? We can drill down by quarter and month and day. Okay. So how do we bridge that gap between our AI and BI data? Well, we do it first through data integration, right? AI can process large amounts of unstructured data, and that can then be used to integrate with our structured data, which is what BI is best at. Okay, so that can give us a better and more complete view of our business because we have that combination, we have that integrated unstructured and structured data. If we're talking predictive analytics, BI is great for focusing on historical data, and AI is great at predicting our future trends. So we can join those together. We can use our historical data to give us a better data to use with our AI to predict our future trends. And so we get a better prediction that shows us across our historical and predicted data. We can automate those insights with AI because AI can automate the extraction of information from the data. And again, we can use our BI for doing a more dynamic and responsive dashboard or report. All right. And last talk about operational efficiency, where AI can optimize our business processes by identifying by using our statistical analysis to identify inefficiencies, and then we can use our BI to track and measure that impact over time. Right. So we can use start it, and we can use our BI to start tracking it, and then as we make changes to our operational to after we've used AI to identify those inefficiencies and we've made changes to address those inefficiencies, we can continue to use our BI to track across time. Is that getting better or is it getting worse, so that we know if we need to continue on this path or we want to make a change. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it over to Esteban, who is going to talk about data governance and compliance.
Thank you, Christopher, for getting us started. And thank you to everyone listening to our presentation here today. I'm excited to begin by talking about a fundamental element that powers successful AI and BI initiatives in organizations, and that is data governance. Data governance is not just about managing data, it is about transforming data into a trusted, secure, and strategic asset. So what exactly is data governance? Data governance encompasses the processes, standards, and metrics that ensure effective and efficient use of information in enabling an organization to achieve its goals. It is about managing accessibility, ensuring quality, securing data, and regulating its usage. The goal here is straightforward but critical: to ensure that our data is accurate, consistent, and secure. So why is data governance so important? The significance of data governance lies in its impact. By ensuring that data is kept in good order, we build foundational trust. This trust is crucial because it affects every decision made at every level of an organization. When stakeholders trust the data, the quality of their decisions improves dramatically, leading to better business outcomes. Let's delve deeper into the components of data governance, starting with data quality management. High quality data must be accurate, complete, and timely. Think of it as the lifeblood of your decision-making process. If the data is flawed, even the best AI algorithms cannot generate valuable insights. Therefore, our governance initiatives prioritize regular checks and balances to maintain the quality of data at all times. Next, we have data security protocols. In today's digital age, data breaches are not just a threat to our IT environment, but to our brand's integrity and customer trust. Effective data governance includes robust security measures, encryption, access controls, and regular security audits to protect sensitive information from unauthorized access and potential threats. Another pillar of data governance is data architecture. This involves setting up structured, well-defined data models and databases that support efficient data processing and integration. Good architecture not only supports current needs, but is scalable to accommodate future growth and changes. It ensures that data flows seamlessly across the organization, enabling better analytics and more comprehensive insights. One key benefit of robust data governance is trust. This is the ultimate currency in today's data-driven world. With solid governance, the trust placed in the data by internal and external stakeholders leads to more confident and quicker decision-making. Another key benefit is efficiency. By eliminating data redundancy and streamlining data management, we not only save on costs, but also make our processes leaner and faster. And finally, security. By proactively managing data security, we not only comply with global data protection regulations, but also protect our stakeholders and ourselves from data-related risks. Data governance is an indispensable part of our digital transformation journey. It's not just a technical requirement. It's a strategic enabler. And as you reflect on the data governance practices within your organization, consider how these components are being managed. Are they sufficient? And are they integrated into your broader business strategy? As we continue from our focus on data governance, let's turn our attention to the twin pillars that ensure your data not only serves you today, but also adapts and excels tomorrow: compliance and continuous improvement. Compliance and data governance is not merely a regulatory requirement, it's a fundamental aspect of your operational integrity. It ensures that your data management practices align with ethical standards and safeguard your stakeholders' interests. But what does compliance really mean for you on a day-to-day basis? It means every piece of data you handle is managed under stringent guidelines that respect privacy and ensure security. It's about creating a data environment where every stakeholder can trust that the information is handled responsibly. Compliance is dynamic. It requires a proactive approach to understanding not just current laws, but also the implications of these regulations on your future operations. This proactive stance ensures that you are always ahead of potential issues, mitigating risks before they become problems. When we talk about implementing effective compliance, we're discussing more than routine checks. We're talking about embedding a culture of continuous education and vigilance. Continuous education is crucial because the landscape of data privacy and security is constantly evolving. By regularly updating your team's knowledge, you ensure that everyone not only understands the how of compliance, but also the why. This understanding fosters a proactive attitude towards compliance. Auditing and reporting then become not just about accountability, but about transparency and openness in your operations. Regular audits help you stay on track, identifying gaps and areas for enhancement. Transparent reporting builds trust externally with your clients and internally within your teams. It demonstrates your commitment to not just meeting standards, but exceeding them, showcasing your dedication to excellence. Building a robust compliance framework involves more than setting up systems and processes. It involves a commitment to regular assessment and adaptation. This means not only looking at where you are today, but where you will be tomorrow. It also involves stakeholder engagement, drawing on diverse perspectives across the organization to ensure that your compliance framework is holistic and inclusive. Continuous improvement is about embracing change. It's about recognizing that as the world evolves, so too must your practices. This isn't reactive. It's a strategic, forward-thinking approach that anticipates shifts in technology, industry standards, and regulatory landscapes. Continuous improvement means regularly revisiting your strategies, refining your processes, and always looking for better, more efficient, and more ethical ways to manage your data. In essence, your commitment to compliance and continuous improvement sets a standard. It positions you not just as followers of best practices, but as leaders who define them. Keep in mind that these principles are not static. They are the lifeblood of a thriving, resilient, and ethical organization. Having explored the foundational elements of data governance and the critical role of compliance, let us now shift our focus to best practices that can elevate our initiatives and ensure they not only meet but exceed our expectations. The first best practice is to establish clear and comprehensive data governance policies. These policies should be well documented and easily accessible to all stakeholders within the organization. They must detail how data is to be handled, who is responsible for what aspects of data, and the procedures for addressing data-related issues. Clarity here reduces ambiguities and ensures everyone understands their roles and responsibilities, promoting a culture of accountability. Another key practice is the implementation of regular training and awareness programs. Data governance and compliance are dynamic fields, influenced by evolving technologies and regulatory landscapes. Regular training sessions ensure that all employees are up to date on the latest policies and understand the best practices for data management and security. Awareness programs can also highlight the consequences for non-compliance, further motivating adherence to established guidelines. Implementing robust data quality frameworks is essential. These frameworks should include mechanisms for data validation, cleansing, and reconciliation to ensure accuracy and reliability. High-quality data is the backbone of effective decision-making and operational efficiency. By investing in good data quality practices, we safeguard the integrity of our data and enhance the overall trustworthiness of our data systems. Utilizing advanced technology to monitor compliance continuously is a game changer. Automated tools can help track compliance in real time, providing alerts when potential issues arise. These technologies reduce the burden on human resources and decrease the likelihood of errors or oversights. They also provide a detailed audit trail that can be invaluable during compliance reviews or audits. And lastly, fostering a culture of data stewardship across the organization is critical. When everyone from top executives to entry-level employees takes ownership of data protection and compliance, governance processes are more likely to be successful. This culture encourages proactive behavior, such as reporting discrepancies or suggesting improvements, which can significantly enhance the effectiveness of your governance framework. While the principles of data governance and compliance provide the structure, best practices breathe life into these frameworks, ensuring they function effectively and adaptively. As we continue to navigate the complexities of managing vast amounts of data, let these best practices guide your efforts, helping you to not only manage, but truly leverage data for the betterment of your organizations. Having explored the best practices in data governance and compliance, it's essential that we also address the common pitfalls that organizations might encounter. Understanding these challenges can prepare you to avoid or mitigate them effectively. One major pitfall is the lack of executive support and leadership buy-in. Data governance initiatives require you to not only have initial approval, but ongoing leadership engagement to succeed. Without this support, these programs struggle to secure the necessary resources and priority they deserve, leading to underperformance and potential failure. Another significant challenge is inadequate training and communication. Often, organizations implement complex policies and tools without properly educating their teams about them. This gap in knowledge can lead to non-compliance, not out of negligence, but out of lack of understanding. Regular, effective training and clear, consistent communication are crucial for the success of governance programs. Siloed data practices within different departments can severely hinder effective data governance. When data is managed in silos, it not only creates inefficiencies, but also increases the risk of inconsistencies and errors. Breaking down these silos and fostering a culture of collaboration and shared data stewardship is essential. Underestimating the importance of data quality is a common oversight. It's tempting to assume that more data means better data, but without rigorous quality controls, this is seldom the case. Poor data quality can lead to misguided insights and decisions, potentially harming the organization's operations and reputation. And lastly, implementing too rigid governance structures can be a pitfall. The digital landscape is rapidly evolving, and governance frameworks need to be flexible enough to adapt. An overly rigid system may stifle innovation and slow down necessary adjustments to new technologies or market conditions. While the road to effective data governance and compliance is fraught with challenges, understanding these pitfalls equips us to navigate them. By fostering strong leadership support, ensuring thorough training, breaking down data silos, prioritizing data quality, and maintaining flexible governance structures, you can overcome these obstacles.